Death is one of life's greatest mysteries. We all know it comes for everyone sooner or later, but what really happens when we die? And what if I told you that millions of people around the world have astonishing stories about what occurred while they were clinically dead? Is death truly the end, or is there something more beyond it? Let's explore this mystery together. Many people who have survived near-death experiences report visions and feelings that go far beyond what science can explain. And the most fascinating part, the stories they share have surprisingly similar details, even though the circumstances may vary. These near-death accounts are not a recent phenomenon. It's estimated that, just in the United States, around 9 million people have gone through such experiences. But what do these people have in common? What happens during that time between life and death? And why do some of these experiences seem so intense and life-changing? To better understand this, we need to look into the science of death. When someone is declared dead, it's because the heart has stopped beating. However, modern medicine has shown us that, with the use of defibrillators and resuscitation techniques, it is possible to restart a person's heart minutes after it has stopped. But what happens to someone's consciousness in those moments? Many people who have gone through this process report experiencing something unusual: a bright light, the sensation of floating outside their body, or even the perception of hearing what was happening around them while their body remained motionless. How is this possible? How can someone hear conversations or notice details if they are technically dead? But not all near-death experiences are positive. Some people talk about a deep sense of loneliness, despair, or even a mysterious appearance of a female figure. What do these experiences have in common? What is happening during this transition? According to scientists, the question of when death really occurs is more open than we think. Dr. Sam Parnia, a renowned researcher at NYU Grossman School of Medicine, has challenged the traditional definition of death. In his research, he discovered that the cells in the human body do not die instantly when the heart stops beating. In fact, cells can remain alive for up to 10 hours after clinical death. This opens up the possibility that, if we better understand the nature of consciousness, we might even be able to revive someone long after their clinical death has been declared. Parnia believes that consciousness doesn't vanish immediately when the brain and heart stop functioning. He suggests that, in some way, consciousness may continue for a while after clinical death, which could explain the vivid perceptions and experiences reported by people who return to life. For him, consciousness is something distinct from brain activity, and this difference could be key to understanding what truly happens when we die. On the other hand, other scientists have a different explanation. Kevin Nelson, a neurologist at the University of Kentucky, believes that near-death experiences can be explained by natural processes in the brain. According to Nelson, the sensation of being outside the body, the vision of a bright light, and even the feeling of peace are not exclusive to those who are dying, but can also occur in any situation of extreme stress, such as fainting or even in episodes of sleep paralysis. Nelson conducted studies in which he induced participants into a controlled fainting state, and the results showed that the sensations associated with near-death experiences can be triggered by this natural process. He believes that the transition between states of consciousness can cause these experiences, and when someone undergoes a cardiac arrest, the brain begins to mix states of wakefulness and sleep, creating the sensations many people report. This theory, called the REM intrusion theory, suggests that when the brain experiences a malfunction, it overlaps states of consciousness, causing people to experience the same sensations described by those in deep sleep or transitioning into REM sleep. However, Nelson's theory doesn't explain all cases. Bruce Grayson, a psychiatrist at the University of Virginia, who has studied near-death experiences for over 50 years, believes that not all aspects of these experiences can be explained by transitions in consciousness. He shares a case that, for him, challenges any explanation based on brain malfunctions. Grayson helped revive a patient who had overdosed and was clinically dead. When she was resuscitated, she was able to describe with accuracy what was happening around her, including details that he himself didn't know she could have seen or heard. She remembered a conversation he had in another room, and even that he had pasta sauce on his tie while trying to resuscitate her. For Grayson, these details cannot be explained by a simple brain failure. The only explanation, he says, is that the patient temporarily left her body. This raises the question, is there a part of our consciousness that truly survives the physical death of the body? The truth is, regardless of the scientific explanation, near-death experiences seem to have a profound impact on those who go through them. Many report a significant transformation in their lives after these experiences. They begin to see life in an entirely different way, more appreciative, more connected to others, and with a new perspective on what truly matters. The big question still remains: what exactly happens when we die? Is it a brain malfunction, or is it a glimpse of what comes after life? Will science ever be able to fully explain these experiences? Or is there something beyond our current understanding that explains these phenomena? The mystery continues, but one thing is certain: those who have had a near-death experience will never see life the same way again. For these people, the simple act of being alive is a gift.